Hi there. I welcome you to this special session of the discussion of the English language section of AIMT 200-2004. As you know, this mock was conducted recently, and this particular special session is to discuss only the English language part of it. As you know, English language section is very tricky. Oftentimes such discussions, help students, to better their scores in future exams. So I'll try as greatly as possible to discuss in as great a detail as possible so that this can help you. So let us get started straight away. The first set is reading comprehension set, and as you can see, the directions clearly say read the following passage carefully and answer the questions asked from individual paragraphs. Now, the mention of individual paragraphs should immediately remind you of SBI PO, mains model. In SBI PO mains, one particular mains, they gave passages, or they gave a passage with para numbers, given separately. Each para was numbered, para 1, para 2, para 3, etc. And even the questions referred to the paragraph number and asked a question only related to that paragraph. Usually you see a question requires you to understand the entire passage for you to answer that question. Well, in one case particularly, in the SBI PO mains, the questions were related only to a paragraph. Now, I do not mean to say you should read only that paragraph and answer that question. Of course, you have to read the entire passage. Please read the entire passage always. Read entire passage. Without reading the entire passage completely and correctly, you cannot, start answering questions. What I am trying to say is, while answering the questions, your time is saved if you know the paragraph number it refers to, and you can go to that paragraph alone, confirm and answer. That's what I mean. I'm not suggesting that you read only paragraphs, for questions. Sometimes you may be lucky, but sometimes, especially in, mains exam, you may not be so lucky. The understanding of a paragraph may depend on the understanding of the entire passage, or the entire passage's understanding may influence some of the ideas in a particular paragraph. So kindly remember what I said. Read the entire passage first and then start answering, even if the para numbers are mentioned. That's always, the best possible thing for you to do. So, let us attack the passage itself. As you know, this is a special discussion of the paper, the English language section of the mock. It is not an RC class. So, I will not get into extreme details as to how to deal with the passage and all that. But it will be fair on my part for me to say that you should, try to identify the topic as you start reading the passage, and then immediately try to identify the central idea. And after central idea is clear, you should go for main supporting ideas. And once the main supporting ideas are clear, you should look for conclusion. This is one way of reading a passage. Now you may say, sir, what is the difference between topic and central idea? Well, the difference is topic is the point that he is talking about. Let us say inflation or Indian economics or COVID-19. And central idea is the main message he is giving on the topic. So what is central idea? The main message he is giving on the topic. That is central idea. And the main supporting ideas are the ideas that the author uses to support the central idea, which he explains in detail in different paragraphs. And the conclusion is the final message that the author gives, which may or may not be there. Not compulsory. That conclusion should be there. If it is there, you should know what it is. And then you should also understand what the tone of the passage is. Tone is nothing but whether the author is positive or negative about someone or something. And this is very important. Similarly, you should understand style of the passage. What is style? Now, style, my dear friends, is the manner of writing a passage. Is the author describing the passage or describing the ideas, I mean, or is the author, narrating some ideas, or is the author arguing with us about a certain point? Okay, these are styles of writing. I am sure you have attended the RC class. We discuss all these in detail in our regular RC sessions, you know that. So kindly remember this method. Alternatively, you can also try the summarizing method. As you read the passage, okay, you can summarize every para. After reading the passage, summarize the main ideas in the passage. Try to, figure out what is the essence of that para. As you proceed from one para to another para, you do this. That is another good way of reading. Although my favorite is the first method. Okay, I always look for topic, then I go for central idea, then I go after the main supporting ideas, and conclusion if there is. Otherwise, directly attack the questions. So, shall we get started then? Let us read this para and then proceed to the other paras. So, paragraph 1 says, revolutionaries often have scant regard for the important plumbing details, but they capture hearts and minds. Okay, whenever you have two parts, and the parts if are divided by but, always remember the second part is a little bit more important than the first part. After but, whatever comes, always remember is more important. And then what does the sentence say? Revolutionaries. So looks like the topic is revolutionaries. Revolutionaries often have scant regard. Scant means almost no. Zero regard. Zero respect. For what? For important plumbing details. Plumbing details are details like, they are not necessarily related to plumbers. They can also be related to economic, leaders, okay, or leaders in politics, etc. So revolutionaries looks like it is a discussion on politics, because revolutionaries are part of politics, right? Okay, they are people who come up with drastic and sudden ideas, okay, immediate, which are implemented immediately for immediate gains. That kind of, ideologues are revolutionaries. So this sentence says revolutionaries have scant regard for important plumbing details. What does that mean? They don't have, liking for plumbing details, the small details, important minute aspects of problems which needs to be taken care of in order to solve the problem. Such details are not important for revolutionaries. So the author is negative about revolutionaries. But the author says, but they capture hearts and minds. But people like them. Okay, though revolutionaries are somewhat negative, because they don't look for small details, they come up with sudden changes, drastic changes. People like them. That's an interesting thing. Looks like the country is India. So their policies have drive inequality, instability, and ecological disaster. So their policies means revolutionaries' policies. They are bringing what? Negative things like inequality, instability, ecological disaster, all negatives. Yet people keep voting them in. So although revolutionaries are negative, they keep coming to power because people vote for them. Because people like revolutionary ideas, sudden changes. So looks like the topic is revolutionaries, and obviously part of some political party. Looks like part of ruling party. From this we can infer that. And the author is negative about them. But people are positive. Remember that. Then the author says, well-meaning progressives. Oh, now he has moved to progressives. Now, my dear friends, progressives are, people or political parties belonging to the centrist or leftist part of the spectrum. I am sure you already know political spectrum. Okay. On the political spectrum, there are right-wing parties and there are left-wing parties and there are centrist parties. So progressives are those people who are not conservatives. right wing people are usually conservatives, right? But left wing and centrist people are progressive in nature. They think of advancements in society. They don't look for minor differences among society. They are not conservatives. They are not, traditional, or they don't stick to customs. So the author is now getting into progressives, from revolutionaries to progressives. Well-meaning progressives lament. Lament means complain. Lament means complain. The complain about the irrationality of the masses while ossifying into what George Orwell called a permanent and pensioned opposition. Okay, now this is a comment on revolutionaries by the author. So firstly the author says that, comment of the author on progressives. Firstly the author tells us that progressives complain about the irrationality of the masses. So progressives don't like the masses, the people who keep voting, revolutionaries, although revolutionaries don't bring equality, don't bring stability, don't bring ecological progress. So revolutionaries are doing negatives. Still the people are voting for them. And the progressives complain about this. And at the same time, while ossifying into what George Orwell called a permanent and pensioned opposition. Pension does not mean they get pension, that means retired. Okay, so basically progressive becomes simply inactive, retired, permanent opposition to the ruling party. That's it. They are not the active players. They are not the main doers or shakers of, the things or activities. They don't lead. They just simply sit and watch. That's what, progressives become, is what the author says. So the author is a little bit negative about progressives. Okay, remember that. Now, the question is the author's topic revolutionaries or progressives? That can be understood from the next sentence. Let's see. Generations of progressives remain untested by the rigors of rule and loose sharpness. Looks like the author is focused more on progressives. He says generations of progressives remain untested. Meaning, okay, they are just, retired opposition, right? So their own generation after generation after generation, left parties, centrist parties, they remain untested. Why? They don't come to power. By the rigors of rule meaning the ruling, and that's what he means by when a party comes to ruling power, obviously they become better, right? Or their originality comes out, right? That remains untested is what the author says. So why? Because progressives don't get a chance to come to power. So generations of progressives remain untested by the rigors of rule and lose sharpness. So they lose their sharpness. They originally were good, but now after generation after generation after generation of rejections, they lose their sharpness. The right never lets crisis go waste. But what about the right? I told you the right-wing parties are the conservative parties. The right, which perhaps is in power in this country where the passage, about which the passage is, the right never lets a crisis go waste. Crises are used to roll out policies that think tanks have had sitting on shelves. So the right-wing party or the ruling party, they never allow crises to go waste. If there's a crisis, immediately some policy is brought. Okay, like COVID-19 crisis is there, some new policy, some new interesting scheme. That kind of stuff, the right-wing parties or the right parties do is what the author says. Crises are used to roll out policies that think tanks are intellectual people. Okay, they have been thinking about this for years. You see, I have had sitting on shelves for years. So these think tank people have thought about these solutions long back. They are really good solutions. But right-wing parties bring out these solutions only during crisis. Because that way maybe they get more popularity. Maybe that is why the people are crazy about them. Maybe that is why the people keep voting them in. That's what the author is trying to say. And what about the progressives? Next sentence is, progressives are always caught short. Means they never act on time. Never missing an opportunity to miss an opportunity. See, the author is being sarcastic about progressives. They never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity, which means they always miss an opportunity. Interesting, right? Then the author moves on to an interesting thing. He says, what then should Indian progressives seek for economy? So you see, now he comes to the central idea. Till now, the author has been telling us the basic differences between progressives and revolutionaries, and how revolutionaries are negative, they don't act much, they fall short, etc., etc. Now the author says, what then should his advice the Indian progressives seek for the economy? So what should they seek for economy if they have power, if they come to power, or even as a policy, party policy? What should they seek or get or try to get for economy? So looks like central idea. Then the author says, we can outline some general principles, necessarily incomplete. Okay, so the author is outlining some general principles for us. So the central purpose of the passage is to outline the general principles that progressives should seek for the current state of economy, which is bad. Looks very much Indian context. So let us call these production. So the author is even giving the solutions, general principles. One is production, two is devolution. Devolution is usually used in politics for devolution of power. Devolution means delegation, distribution of power. Okay, between central and state government and state and local government, etc. Universalism, let's see what that is, and market building. So the author is giving 4 possible, principles that progressives should seek, okay, for economy to improve our economic status. Let us see what the second para says. I hope you understood the first para. The author's primary purpose is to suggest 4 principles that progressive parties or progressives should seek or try to get, okay, to improve our economy. With that, we move to second para, which says the first principle must be production. So he is now giving details of the first principle. You see, he gave 4 principles, right? Production, 2 devolution. Okay, what was that? 3 universalism, and 4th was market building. Okay, so now he is giving details on production in second para. So second para is all about production. Let us see. The first principle must be production. Means first important thing that they should seek is production in the country. Self-reliant captures this rhetorically. Rhetorics is the art of speaking effectively in an attractive manner, the way some politicians speak. Now the author is referring to self-reliance here. I am sure those of you who are reading newspapers and following all the political and economic development remember this as Atmanirbharta. Okay, recently Atmanirbharta, which in English means self-reliance, was in great discussion, right? So the author is referring to that. So the author is in agreement with that. He says the first principle must be production, and self-reliance captures this rhetorically, means it's an attractive way of capturing production. So the author actually says self-reliance, the term, the logo, captures the production aspect very, very nicely, very attractively. But this is hardly a new thought. But then the author says the self-reliance or this production, the idea of production, indigenous production, etc. is not new. It is very old. He says the symbol on our flag is there because colonialism associated, let us recall, with free trade led to deindustrialization and drain of wealth. So obviously a clear reference to India's colonialism and India's tricolor, our tricolor. We have wheel on the flag, right? It has many symbolic meanings, one of which I think is something related to development, production, industrialization, etc. Okay, at least the origins of the wheel were like that, right? From charkha to wheel and all that. So the author says the symbol of on our flag is there because colonialism is the British Raj, the British era, associated, let us recall, with free trade, led to the deindustrialization and drain of wealth. So what happened during the British Raj? deindustrialization occurred in India. Okay, instead of industrialization, deindustrialization. How so, you may say? They used to take all the raw material from India to England, produce goods, and export them to India, right? Sell those same goods to us. Ironical, but that's the thing, that's a fact. That's what he says. And drain of wealth. A lot of wealth thus is taken in terms of raw material. This was a common colonial experience, so most post-colonial nations opted for import substitution industrialization. Okay, so this is common everywhere. That's what the British did. Take raw material from the country, produce a fine product, sell it to them. And what did people do after, post-colonial nations means after independence? What did the countries do? They opted import substitution industrialization, ISI. Okay, and what is ISI in the import substitution industrialization? Simple. Okay, do not import, instead produce goods indigenously at home. Okay, so produce goods at home and put a big tariff on imports so that people produce goods at home itself. That is called import substitution industrialization, which means if I ban imports of certain products, obviously people will start developing them at home, right? That's import substitution industrialization. But ISI 1 was a disaster above all because it was an economist's vision, all production functions and no real sense of production. But the author says ISI 1.0, which means the period immediately after independence. Although they tried to do that, it was a disaster. Why? It was just a vision and no practical action, no real sense of production, which means no real industrialization occurred immediately after India's independence. That's what he is trying to say. Development is more than a collection of capital goods. Now the author is explaining what we should do. He says development is more than just a collection of capital goods. Now capital goods are raw materials we require for industrialization apart from power and land. I'm sure you already know that. Okay, it is the process of import replacing done right. Okay, so what the author says is this original import substitution industrialization was a disaster. How should it be done? He says it should be done right. Okay, how? Being more productive means being able to make yourself what you imported yesterday, allowing you to import better stuff tomorrow. Now this is what he says should be done. We should import, we should make what we used to import yesterday and import some better stuff tomorrow. So he says complete banning of import is not the idea. We should continue to import only great stuff. But what we imported yesterday, we should make today. And we should import something that we will be eventually making on our own, maybe tomorrow, maybe after tomorrow. So this is his suggestion so far as production is concerned in second paragraph. Let us see what he says in third para. Third para says it is popular to say that export, the same discussion continues. It is popular to say that the export route to prosperity is now closed with the end of hyper-globalization. Because globalization sort of failed, export route to prosperity, is now closed is what the author says, which means you cannot export abroad and become rich, because hyper-globalization has come to an end. That's true, Every country is producing their own products. But then the author says, what applies to normal-sized nations does not apply to us. We are India, we are special. As if we needed reminding, we are an extremely uneven continent. So he is obviously referring to Indian subcontinent. Of course, India. We are unique country, right? Our poorer regions still have a shot to export their way to prosperity with richer regions playing consumers. Very interesting idea. He says instead of a poor country like India exporting to rich countries, within India, internally, we can have a poor state, exporting to rich state. Why not? This is a very good idea, right? And the author says our current pattern is just the reverse. Unfortunately, the problem is it is reverse. It is rich countries which are exporting to rich states exporting to poor states. How he says? Rich states import labor from poorer states and send them manufactured goods along the colonial pattern. Just like during the British days, where India's raw material and labor used to be taken by the British, and after finishing the final product, they would export and sell the same to us. The same thing is happening in our country now. Rich states are importing labor and raw material from poor states and selling them final products. This is not the right way, is what the author says. The right way is poor regions exporting to rich regions. Okay, poor states exporting to rich states. That's what the author says in third para. Okay, so fourth para, let us see what the author goes to. Fiscal power. So he is now going to devolution. He has discussed production in third and second para. Now he talks about fiscal power, which means clearly devolution point is coming in. The fiscal power must be transferred to the state and local level if we are to get policies form fit for specific markets and conditions, if we are to reverse our internal colonialism. The internal colonialism is the difference between rich states and poor states. So if we are to get rid of that, we should have devolution of power, is what he says in just one sentence. And next sentence says, welfare is critical, but its governing principle must shift to universalism. Okay, now he is moving to universalism. Universalism. Now what kind of universalism? He is talking about universal welfare scheme. You see, the current welfare scheme, especially in a country like India, okay, cater only to the poor people. Okay, so they are not universal, because they are catering only to certain sections of the society. Okay, but the author says it should be universal. The welfare scheme of the government should be universal. So this is his third advice. Third principle. The technocratic obsession with targeting, fueled by electoral competition and fortified by cold middle class morality, must cease. Okay, so the author says all these negative things that are happening now, the technocratic obsession of the government, okay, using technology, they are, trying to target only certain sections of the society. Okay, electoral competition, vote bank politics, and middle class morality, that we should help the poor. Okay, the rich don't require help, that kind of morality. Perhaps that's what he is referring to. Must cease, must stop. Dividing people into scheme-based categories also divides us politically. Why? Because if we divide the public into scheme-based categories, political division will also continue or will ensue out of it, and there will be more serious problems. Okay, we can only explain the current crisis if we accept that we do not really see each other as full citizens. Now, the current crisis is very bad. We must have understood that already. And the author says this can be explained only when we understand that we do not really see each other as full citizens. Why? Because, different schemes have divided us into different categories. That's what he means. But merely as objects of welfare under some scheme. Okay. So, entitlements, the privileges, must be universal. So the author says all privileges must be universal. Everybody should get it. Okay, we need universal basic income and universal healthcare now. So everybody should, come under something like Ayushman Bharat, for example. Ayushman Bharat, it does not cover everybody, right? It covers only certain sections of society. So what the author is trying to say is everybody should be covered. Everyone should get universal basic income. That's a good idea, right? That way, we all will be on the same plane. So, in the fourth para, the author talked both about devolution of power and universalism or universal welfare schemes. Last para, let's see what he says. Finally, market building. So, his fourth principle. Market building comes in fifth para. He says progressives have to stop thinking about the market as a den of vice. So he's talking about the progressives' aversion to the market. They dislike market. Because, market means capitalism, right? And the left parties hate, capitalistic tendencies. Yes or no? So, the author says, finally, market building, progressives have to stop thinking about the market as a den of vice. Vice means bad qualities. There is no such thing as the market with M capital. Only specific markets that do specific things. Okay, so the author says there is no capitalistic, the market like universal in nature. Special markets catering to special things. That's it. The market is just like our everyday market. Markets are allocation mechanisms, information processors, ways of being social. So there is nothing extraordinary about market. They are just allocation mechanisms, information processors, ways of being social. It's like coming together, buying and selling. Markets long predate means come before capitalism. So they came long before capitalism. Capitalism came recently. I told you the left, the progressives hate capitalistic things. So the author is assuring them markets are existed long before capitalism. They will outlast it. Capitalism will go, but market will stay. So progressives need to learn to design and engineer them for workers and farmers. So the author says progressives need to learn to design and engineer them for workers and farmers. So it's like redesigning markets is what the author's advice is to the progressives. So with that we have come to the end of the passage. Let us now move to the question. The first question is here. Okay, let us read the question and answer the same. According to the para 1, which of the following best summarizes author's opinion? Now this does not mean summary of the para. This only means which of the given options is best summary of one of his opinions. Okay, not all of his opinions. Summarizes author's opinion is what it says, not opinions. Okay, so we have to look for an idea or option that is in conjunction with the author's opinion. So let's see, and it is about first para. If you remember, in first para author talked about progressives and revolutionaries. Yes or no? Let's see. One says progressives focus exclusively on tarnishing the policies in the progressive vision of economy. So progressive focus exclusively on tarnishing policies. Okay, in progressive vision of economy. This has not been mentioned anywhere. We know that well-meaning progressives lament or complain about irrationality of the masses. They become retired, etc. But we haven't been told that they tarnish, means they malign or they make dirty. Okay, the policies of, or call dirty the policies in the progressive vision of the economy. No. This is completely opposite to what they would do. Okay, why would tarnish their own vision? Doesn't make sense, right? 2 says revolutionaries comply with the details in implementing the policies framed to reach the target set in policies. Comply with details. Now that reminds me of, the plumbing details. What did the author say? Revolutionaries often have scant regard. Scant matlab no regard. No regard at all. If that is the case, then how can you say they comply with details? So this also is opposite to what the author discussed. So both 1 and 2 are wrong. What about 3? The public blindly abide by the policies that contribute to the fast progress of the economy framed by the revolutionaries. Okay, the public blindly abide by the policies that contribute to the fast progress of the economy framed by revolutionaries. No, this has not been mentioned. What has been mentioned is, okay, what has been mentioned is, instead of, okay, let me just look for the line. Okay, but they capture heart, this, but they capture hearts and minds is one point where public is referred to, yet people keep voting them in. Okay, 2. Now look at the sentence once again. It says fast progress. Okay, now that's the keyword. I'm sorry, I missed it. Okay, fast progress. See, the problem is the public is voting the parties to power, although inequality, instability and ecological disaster are being brought about. If that is the case, then we cannot actually say that the public is blindly abiding by the policies that contribute to fast progress. Actually, the author told us, although there is no progress, the public is supporting the revolutionaries. Okay, so public is not blindly going for progress. The public is actually supporting lack of progress. Although there is no progress, Revolutionaries are getting a chance, right? So 3 cannot be the answer. 4 says all the policies framed by the think tanks are implemented without missing any opportunity for development of the economy. Okay, now the author has clearly told us, okay, the think tanks are mentioned here, right? Okay, the right never lets a crisis go waste. Crises are used to roll out policies that think tanks have had sitting on shelves. Okay, so think tanks have thought about this long back. And only in the time of crisis, the revolutionaries bring these to the fore. Okay, yes or no? So what does the choice say? All the policies framed by think tanks are implemented without missing any opportunity. No, the author clearly told us only during the crisis. So this cannot be the answer. So the answer has to be 5. Let us see. For generations, the revolutionaries' policies widened the gaps in the economy, yet the public continued to support them. Now that's 100% true, right? Yes or no? That's what the first 2 sentences say. Revolutionaries often have scant regard for plumbing details, but the public, likes them. Their policies drive inequality, instability, ecological disaster, yet people keep voting them. That's exactly what this sentence is. For generations, the revolutionaries' policies widened the gaps, okay, yet the public continued to support them. So the answer has to be 5, my dear friend. Question number 1, the answer clearly is 5. With that, we move to second question, and second question is here. According to para 2, what does the author mean by being more productive? Now, if you remember, he clearly told us, what he meant by being more productive. Being more productive is means being able to make yourself what you imported yesterday, allowing you to import better stuff tomorrow. That's what he said. Let us look for that sentence. Okay. Trumpet means talk greatly about the theories of production, but cease to implement them for all practical purposes. No, this is not what the author would say. This is clearly negative. The author is clearly positive in his advice. So 1 cannot be the answer. 2 says productivity is to be self-reliant. So this was given in the para, right, initially. The first principle is production. Self-reliance captures this rhetorically, which means the author believes that through production we can be self-reliant, which means this is true. Okay, and import only that which improvises production activity. So that again is in conjunction with that, allowing you to import better stuff tomorrow. So this overall means we should keep on, importing only that which is required, but at the same time stop importing that which we can develop. So which means this is close, if not very close, close. So let's keep it on hold. 3 says productivity is to continue the process of importing capital goods in post-colonial period. Now process of importing capital goods, no. This he did not refer to, so let's not even discuss it. 4 says development is defined as investing more on accumulation of maximum capital goods. No, he actually was trying to say that just having capital goods is not productivity. That's what he was trying to say. So both are completely different from what the author said, which means in the final analysis, the correct answer to second question has to be 2. We now move to third question. Third question is here. Okay, let me have some water. Okay, so according to para 3, what can we infer? Now, infer is an idea. Inference is an idea that we derive, which is not directly stated, from the phrase, we are an uneven continent. What can we infer from this is what the author is trying to say. Okay, so let us look at this part in third para. This is where it says uneven continent. Okay, we are an uneven continent. Okay, so what did he mean by this? Let's read it. As if we needed reminding, we are an extremely uneven continent. Our poorer regions still have a shot to export their way to prosperity with rich regions playing consumers. Our current pattern is just the reverse. Rich states import labor from the poorer states and send them manufactured goods along the colonial pattern. So the author is explaining the unevenness in this. Obviously, clearly he is trying to say what is supposed to happen. The poor state is supposed to make goods and export to rich state. But what is happening? The reverse is happening. Rich states are importing raw material and labor from poor states and exporting goods to the poor states. This is what we understand from this unevenness the author is trying to talk about. So, the correct answer has to be, let us see, 1. The people of poorer locations should compete to hinder. Compete with whom? Not clear, complete. And to hinder prosperity, why should we hinder prosperity? Negative. The export routes are closed completely and is thus a barrier for prosperity. Now, this is not what that unevenness refers to. This was in reference to globalization, that it came to an end and all that stuff. So, this is again not relevant to the point under discussion. 3 says, the poorer regions do not have access to export and get succumbed to the richer states. Now, this is exactly what the author was saying. The poor regions do not have access to export and get succumbed to the richer state, means richer states do whatever they are supposed to do. So, close. 4. Doors of prosperity are closed to the poor states after the colonial rule. No, the author is not this hopeless. The author is very positive and hopeful, right? So, this is extremely hopeless statement. 5. Rich states completely focus on enhancement of the economy and are heirs to prosperity. Now, author again is not this extremely positive, or the author did not give up on poor states. This is completely favoring rich states. So, not correct. Correct answer has to be therefore 3. So, 3 is the correct answer to third question, my dear friend. We move to fourth question, which says, which of the following statements link para 3 and para 4? Now, this is very simple. Para 3 was talking about what? Okay, export and all this production, etc. And para 4, okay, move to fiscal power must be transferred, devolution. Okay, so simply speaking, from productivity to devolution, this change is taking place from para 3 to para 4. So any option that brings that change about or helps that change is the answer. 1. The slowdown in domestic growth and need for cyclical fiscal stimulus is the need of the hour. No, completely. Stimulus, etc. the author did not discuss. Devolution of power is different from, giving stimulus and all that stuff. 2 says grants for higher production in rich productive areas should be channelized to enrich the poorer states. This is related only to productivity. What about devolution? 3 says higher devolution shared to the states vis-a-vis the baseline scenario causes economic growth. This is only talking about benefit of higher devolution, but it doesn't, help the transition happen. So wrong. 4 says production means focusing on cities and towns in poorer regions of India. So production leading to the second principle, devolution. You see, from production, the change has taken, the author has swiftly moved to devolution. So this sentence is definitely helping the author, okay, to move from third para to fourth para very easily. So this is the linking sentence. Okay. So 4 is the answer. 5th, we will read it. The impact of changes in devolution formula is studied on, again, only devolution. So cannot be the answer. So correct answer for 4th question is 4. We now move to 5th question. 5th question is here. According to para 5, what are the features of a market as opined by author? Now the author was very positive about market, right? He clearly told us, okay, markets are allocation mechanism, information processes, ways of being social, etc., etc. So let's see which option makes that sense. Markets are competitive in nature where corruption dominates. Negative. We don't even have to read the rest of it. Author is positive, the choice is negative. Okay, 2 says markets are a way of life that help distribution, transfer of information and aids in the progress of economy. This is exactly what the author was trying to say, right? Progressives need to learn to design and engineer better markets and all that stuff that he was talking He was very positive about market. So this option clearly is positive. So 2 is possible. 3, markets are specific in nature, catering to set of actions using tactics to promote specific goods. Now the author did say specific. Okay, he said markets, the only specific markets that do specific things. Okay, but he did not give details, right? This is giving too much of detail, which the author did not suggest, so not the answer. Author agrees to the progressives' perception that markets are nests of corruption. No. The progressives feel, I know, but the author does not agree with them. Na? He does not agree with them. So 4 is wrong, 3 is wrong. So the only correct option is 2. 5th question, the correct answer is 2. With that, my dear friends, we move to the next set of questions, questions 6 to 10, which is a para-jumble set. Rearrange the following 6 sentences, A, B, C, D, E, F, in the proper sequence to form a meaningful paragraph. Then answer the questions given below. So this is a typical 6-sentence para-jumble question. So let us deal with it. Now, if you have attended my session on para-jumbles, I gave a 5-step formula, right? A 5-step formula. Step 1 is to read all sentences and identify topic, central idea, primary purpose, main supporting ideas, explanatory details, conclusion, tone, etc. This has to be done like an RC passage. The only difference is they are all of broken pieces. They are not like combined into one single paragraph. So you have to read all sentences. That's compulsory. Second step is to identify an independent sentence which can act as introduction. Now what's an independent sentence? A sentence that is not directly connected to any other sentence by way of connectives or some logical connection, etc. So that independent sentence is what you should look for, which should start the para. Third is to use connectives. I gave a lot of details on this with examples in our session. This is not that. This is just a quick, recap of those things. So use connectives to find links. And once you start finding links, you should start using your bank LR like, puzzle where you actually, start putting these in seating arrangement like manner. Okay. So that is your 4th step. Okay. And finally, 5th step is to read all the sentences, okay, in the order that you identified so that you can know for sure whether your answer is correct or not. So these are my 5 steps. So let us implement these 5 steps now. Let us read all the sentences and identify topic, theme, central idea, etc. So A says, while the former is a division of a bank, the former, now this is a pronoun, which means this cannot come in the beginning. The former means the first mentioned in a previous sentence. So in a previous sentence to this, there are 2 things mentioned. The first is referred to as the former. So while the former is a division of bank, looks like banking sector related topic, is a division of bank that serves governments and other various institutions, and the latter serves as the intermediary between investors and businesses. So there is the latter, so the second mentioned. It means definitely the topic is 2 things related to bank. We'll look, for that, but this definitely cannot start. This is telling you the difference between the former and the latter, the first one and the second one. Okay, so difference between first and second. So remember this. B says in fact. When do we use in fact? In fact is used for emphasis. Okay, in fact is used for emphasis. When you emphasize something, you say in fact. So, in fact, an amount of core knowledge is warranted to comprehend the roles and objective of these 2 financial advisors. So we are looking at 2 financial advisors or entities, and they are referred to as these 2. So this is an emphasis sentence. It is emphasizing the difference. It is emphasizing that we require a lot of thorough, deep knowledge to understand the difference. Emphasizes what? emphasizes, okay, knowledge requirement to understand differences. I am writing it in short. Okay, let me just clean this part so that you don't feel it's a clutter. So he basically emphasizes here. Okay, so what does C say? Investment banking is not the same as an investment bank. So we have also found our independent sentence. You see, those two things we are looking for, okay, are one, investment banking, two, investment bank. So this is definitely an independent sentence. Okay, so let's keep a star here, put a star here. Now D says, so we understood our topic also. Okay, now not the same as, and from this, differences, and a lot of knowledge is warranted to comprehend the roles of these. From that, what do we understand? The primary purpose seems to be to tell us the differences between investment banking and investment bank. That seems to be the purpose. D says, though apparently similar in purpose, they are different in their operation. Okay, now this D is clearly telling us, the primary purpose. They look like similar in purpose, but they are different in operation. Okay, he says the investment banking division, okay, of a bank provides only, okay, look at that word only the underwriting and M&A advisory services. Okay, so only these two services are provided. F says, but a full service investment bank offers a wide range of services, okay, that include underwriting, M&A, sales and trading, equity research, asset management. So lot of extra stuff is done by full investment bank. So investment bank does more than investment banking. So clearly these two seem to be connected. So we have also find third step, connective. So let us put our places here. Okay, now we understood that C is an independent sentence, so I am putting it here. Because we know C is the topic and the purpose is to tell the differences between investment banking and investment bank. Okay, and EF is one connective. Okay, connected by but. The investment banking division of a bank provides only A and B, but a full service investment bank provides A, B, C, D, E. That's the connection, logical connection. So EF is one crucial link, as I call it in my sessions. Okay, now we have to look for other things. Okay, now what is this in fact emphasizing? Okay, in fact says, okay, in fact an amount of core knowledge is warranted to comprehend the roles of objectives. Where else, okay, is the difference is difficult to understand mentioned? Here. Though apparently similar means on the outside they look similar, but they are completely different in their operations. In fact, so you see I have one more link here. What is that? DB. Okay, in fact, an amount of core knowledge is warranted to comprehend the roles and objectives of these two financial advisors. Now the question is, okay, after C, what should come? Okay, D or should it be A? Now A obviously. Why? Because A mentions the former and the latter. If you see, D only says they. Okay. After mentioning two things, if I say the former and the latter, it should be immediately after, not somewhere later. Okay, because the former means the first mentioned in the previous sentence. The latter means the second mentioned in the previous sentence. So the previous sentence has to be C, which means CA is clearly a one link. If CA is clearly one link, okay, D is continuing the discussion, right? Though they are similar in purpose, they are different in operation. And this is the purpose. This is what is the purpose of the passage. So D should come here. If D comes here, then B should come here. Then the only place E and F can come are at the end. So the correct answer to this parajumble question is CAD-BEF. CAD-BEF. I hope it is clear. So let us now answer the questions. Or let us do the fifth step. Let us read them in that order. Okay. Investment banking is not the same as an investment bank. While the former is a division of a bank that serves governments and other various institutions, the latter serves as an intermediary between investors and businesses. Though apparently similar in purpose, they are different in operation. In fact, a lot of knowledge is required to understand the differences. Investment bank does only A and B, but investment banking does only A and B, but investment bank does all A, B, C, D, E, F. So clearly CAD, BEF makes perfect sense. We therefore move to the questions now. Okay, so the answer is CAD, BEF. Remember that? And this says which of the following sentences should come second. Second is clearly A, so the answer has to be 1. And seventh question, the CAD, BEF, right? Okay, seventh question says which of the following sentences should come fifth. Fifth is clearly E, so third, 3 is the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Yes. So eighth question, which of the following is the third? CAD, D is the third, so where is D? 5 is the answer. Ninth says which of the following should come first? First is clearly C, so 1 is the answer. And 10th question says which of the following is 4? CADBEF. So B is the fourth sentence, which means 2 is the correct answer. So quickly we are done with all the 5 questions of parajumbles. We now move to the next part for questions 11 to 15. Sorry, number is missing. What are the directions? Looks like grammar question. In each of the questions below, a sentence is split into 4 parts. Read the sentence and identify whether there is any grammatical error in it. The error, if any, will be in one part. Mark the part as the answer. If no error, 5 is your answer. So traditional, okay, error identification question. Have a look at it. Sorry. So what does this say? It says if it had not rained yesterday, heavily, okay, we will have completed the tree plantations project as per the schedule. Okay, there's a problem in 2, my dear friend. This is a conditional sentence, right? And which conditional is it? Impossible conditional. And what is the structure of impossible conditional? The conditional part should have had plus V3. And the result part should have, okay, would have plus V3. It can be would have, it can also be could have, depending on the meaning. Okay. Now, if it had not rained heavily, it should be we would have completed. We would have completed, or even we could have completed is also fine. But it says will have, which is erroneous. So the correct answer to 11th question is choice 2. I hope you got that simple explanation. Let's move to 12th question. The conductor in the bus was courteous. Courteous means very polite enough at assist the old lady. Alight the bus. Alight means get down from the bus. Get down from the bus. Get out of the bus. Okay. When you get out of the bus or a vehicle, it is said to be alighting. Now there is a problem in third choice, my dear friend. Courteous enough. Remember this construction. Okay. Adjective plus, okay, enough. Whenever this is used, there is always a verb here, but the verb should be preceded by to and it should be in original form. For example, Ram is smart enough to solve. Okay, Ram is smart enough to solve. Ram is, okay, great enough to lead. Okay, she is intelligent enough to, outsmart everybody. So, whenever enough is preceded by an adjective, it should be followed by the to infinitive. Remember this, to infinitive is compulsory. So, here, instead of to, they said at. Okay, simple error, not a very complicated stuff. So, it should be was courteous enough to assist and not at assist. So, the answer has to be 3. So, 12th question, the correct answer is 3. With that, we move to 13th question, which says market players are free to carry on transactions as they please, subject to government guidelines. Okay, there seems to be a problem in 2. So the first point I would like to say is whose transactions? Obviously, we should say their transactions. So that is the first point. Okay, market players, okay, are free to carry out their transactions. That's the first point I would like to say. Now, second extra gyan I want to give you is, what is the difference between carry out and carry on? Okay, carry on means continue to do. Carry out is to do or to deal with, something like transaction. We carry out transactions, right? Okay, so remember this. Sometimes, in such a question, the more appropriate phrasal verb could be carry out, okay, instead of carry on. But as I said, the main error is there. It should be there. Okay. So market players are free to carry on or carry out their transactions as they please. Okay, especially when you see such extra clues as they please, you should understand there could be some extra meaning. Okay. So the correct answer to 13th question is 2. We go to 14th. When the mother took her son to the park, he was all excited because he was about to go on a merry-go-round. Okay, merry-go-round is, that, merry-go-round thing that children go to, where, horses and all those things are there, right? Wooden horses. Okay, it's a plaything. For first time. Oh, there's a problem in fourth. First, okay, second, third, fourth, last, okay, former, okay, latter, all these are sequence pronouns. What are they? Sequence pronouns. Okay, former, latter are used only for 2. First, second, third, fourth, last are used for 3 plus. And the important rule is they should always be preceded by the definite article the. So you cannot say only first, second, third, fourth. You should say the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the last. You cannot say former and latter. You have to say the former and the latter when they are being used as sequence pronouns. Remember this. Okay, the first boy, the first time, for example. Whenever we refer to sequence using this, the is compulsory. So the is missing here, my dear friend, which means the correct answer is the first time, and fourth has the error. With that, we move to 15th question. Again a conditional. If I had gone to the book fair, I should have bought the book of your interest as a gift for your birthday. Okay, if I had gone to the book fair. Now the author is talking about, possibility, past possibility or suggestion. I just now told you, in if impossible conditional, the conditional part should always have had plus V3. And the result part should have would have plus V3 or could have plus V3. Now the difference, the point is should is also possible, but it changes meaning. Okay, I should have done it means, okay, it actually means you are, sort of giving advice. I mean to say it's possible in general, not in a conditional. If I say I should have done something, I mean to say that I did not do it and I feel sorry for not having done it. Now that is not the meaning, right? It's a conditional. The only two appropriate words are would have, could have. Okay. Maybe sometimes might have is also used, but the more common ones are would have and could have. So the word should here is wrong, which means I should actually say, if I had gone to the book fair, I would have bought the book of your interest. I could have bought the book of your interest. So 2 is erroneous. Okay, 2 is erroneous. With that, we move to 16 to 20 questions, another set. And what does the direction say? Which are the phrases given below? Each sentence should replace the phrase in bold. So this is bold phrase replacement question. The question looks like this. There's a bold phrase. You have to replace it with the correct one. So it's not just error identification, error correction. Okay. So let's see. The designer used bright colors at total contrast to the pastel shades that brings out the hue, true elegance, etc., etc. Okay. So, or bring out, whichever it is, okay. The designer used bright colors at total contrast. No. When we use the word contrast, okay, we say A is in contrast to B. I repeat, A is in contrast to B. This is the correct phrase, my dear friend. And this is that contrast, wrong. So it should be in total contrast. 2. This has in first choice, but 2 is missing. So 1 is wrong. This does not have in, although it has 2. 2 is wrong. In total contrast to, perfect. In total contrast to, perfect. So 3 and 4 are possible. What is the difference between 3 and 4? The. Now the should be there or should not be there. In total contrast to the pastel shades that bring out the true elegance. So obviously pastel shades are already there. Okay, which means they are definite. So the has to be there. The definite article the is compulsory. So 16th, 4 is the answer, not 3. So with that, we move to 17th question. Okay, 17th question says, Government of India must reconsider the forest policies in the light of shift that have taken place over many years. That have? Now what does have indicate? That refers to a plural noun before it. But before it there is a singular noun. Shift is singular, so we cannot say have. It should be has. But can we change the non-bold part? No. Which means we should change the noun. So it should not be shift, it should be shifts. So where do we have shifts? Here we have shifts. In the light of shifts that have taken place. So this is possible. By the light, we don't say by the light. In the light of something means in view of something. So this is wrong. At the light is wrong. In light, again wrong. In the light of. In the light, already the is compulsory there. And shifts should also be there. So from both counts, 4 is wrong. 2 and 3 are already wrong. 17th question, the correct answer has to be 1, my dear friend. We now move to 18th question. Considering recent developments in the share market, okay, the director decided to postpone the scheduled meeting to next week. Now, considering recent developments, should it be recent developments or should we say the recent developments? Now, if you use recent developments in general, recent developments, okay, have been bad in Indian economy. So I am using recent developments in general. Recent developments in politics are not satisfactory. Okay. Now, recent developments in general without any reference to politics or economy is general. Then the is not compulsory. But if you say something like in the share market, okay, you are making it particular, right? You are making it definite. Then the becomes compulsory. I'm sorry, I got carried away by the example. The point I'm trying to say is, if in the share market like phrase is there, then you are talking about some particular developments in a particular field. So it should be the compulsory. Okay. So it's like saying the latest developments. Considering the latest developments in the share market. So the has to be there. Where do we have we and considering means keeping in view. If you consider. So considering plus the, both should be there. This is considered, wrong. This is considered, wrong. This is considered, wrong. So the only option that is correct is considering the recent developments. 4 is the answer. So 18th question, 4 is the correct answer. We move to 19th question now, which says the workshop aims to combine awareness of students' needs and strong work ethics and provide the best legal knowledge for the students to enhance It should be to enhance their professional prospects. So where do we have to enhance their professional prospects? It says enhance. Okay, 2 is already there, right? So enhance is okay. But professional prospects should be there. We are talking about many students. So plural should be there. So this is wrong. Enhance professional prospects. Whose professional prospects? There is missing. So this is wrong. Enhance their professional prospect. This is perfect. This says enhance their professional prospect again. S is missing. So 4 is wrong. So the correct answer to 19th question is 3. And we move to 20th question now. A dissertation is a research work, okay, documented and submitted as part of an undergraduate and graduate course. Okay. Now what does this say? Basically this is a definition, right? I hope you know what dissertation is. It's like a project work. So this is defining, and in definition the tense should be simple present tense, right? A dissertation is a research work. Perfectly alright. Original seems to be right. Here it says is an research work. No. A research. This is consonant sound. So A is correct. Is research work. You are talking about a type of work. So A should be there. A is missing there. 3 says was a research work. Definitions are not given in past tense like 3 and 4 are giving. So 3, 4 are wrong. Okay, 2, 1 are obviously wrong. So the original being correct, the answer has to be 25. So 20th question, the correct answer is 5th option. With that we move to 21st onwards, new directions and new set. In this question, 2 columns are given containing 3 sentences or phrases each. In the first column, sentences, phrases are A, B, C. And in the second column, the sentences, phrases are D, E, F. Match column 1 with column 2 such that the sentences so framed are both meaningful and grammatically correct. So this is matching clauses. Basically, you have to match the clauses in column 1 and column 2 and identify the answer accordingly. So let's try the first one, 21st one. Let me have some water. Okay, he says, Akshay Patra endeavors to provide cooked food and groceries. Okay, and has plenty of idyllic means peaceful places to go for rock climbing. Doesn't make sense. Okay, so this is wrong. Then what about AE? Okay, Akshay Patra endeavors to provide cooked food and groceries to daily wage workers and the elderly citizens of the country. Perfect. So AE is clearly a link. Okay, it makes clearly logical sense. Food and daily wage workers makes sense. B says the forest area is a wonderful tourist spot and is full of hiking trails. Okay, I am not using any shortcuts here. Okay, that you should use in exam. This is an explanation. Okay, so the forest area is wonderful tourist spot and is full of hiking trails. Okay, D says and has plenty of idyllic places to go for rock climbing. So forest, rock climbing. So makes sense. BD is possible. So which means we are left with only CF. Okay, so AE, BD. Okay, CF may not be possible. Let's see. The new hairbrush that is in the market is geared up. Okay, towards what? Towards is no. After towards saying is nonsensical. The is already here. The verb is already given. So CF is not possible, which means AE, BD, which are present in third option should be correct. So answer 21st question is third option. We go to 22nd now. 22nd question says, A says, several young people in the colony formed a group to get trained by experienced manufacturers to execute installations and maintenance jobs. So this is possible. Okay, AD seems to be possible. Several young people in the colony formed a group to get trained by experienced manufacturers. Okay, to execute installations and maintenance jobs. So AD is possible. What about B? Education in true sense, okay, is to facilitate the individual to be, okay, to be and is not possible. To be mature and free, that's possible. Okay, and it should enhance noble qualities of individuals. So BF is possible. Then the only two left are C. Let's see. C says some philosophers say that the idea of philosophy in some countries is narrow-minded, unimaginative and xenophobic. Perfectly alright. Makes grammatical sense. See, so far as we are concerned, grammatical and logical sense both should be made. So this is making logical and grammatical sense both. So it means CE is also possible. So where do we have AD, BF, C? AD, BF, C. So that is there in choice 1. So the correct answer to 22nd question is choice 1. We go to 23rd question. Column 1, A says, the president of Rotary Club, Rotarian Sanjay congratulated the members of his club upon successful completion of project. Yes. So AE is possible. Okay, AE is clearly possible. Now what about B? A team of enthusiastic nature lovers successfully helped the stranded dolphin. That's what nature lovers do, right? They help stranded dolphins get back into the sea, etc. So B, D is possible. Grammatical and logically both. Okay. So what about CF? Now we have AD, AE, BD. AE, BD is here. Elsewhere it is not there. So answer should be 4, but still let's check. The houses in and around Tandur have their roof covered with limestone slabs in place of terracotta or concrete slab due to extensive. That makes perfect sense. Okay, so CF is also possible. So the correct answer to 23rd question is 4. Okay, so 23rd is done. We go to 24th now. What does 24 say? The farmers' cattle have started grazing in the adjoining area. Okay, adjoining area caused serious, not possible. Area with the advancement in the technology, no. Area, you see area is already there, so we repeat area, wrong. So A cannot get along with any of these other options. Let us look at B. The people around Sundarbans try to gather honey from the swamp. Swamp is like wet kind of area, forest area. Okay, caused serious territorial issues, no. Okay, it doesn't make sense, right? Caused. You already said try to gather. Okay, swamp. Something else should happen. Okay, so the D is not making sense. Okay, with advancement in technology in daunting task, no. Okay, swamp area thus making them an easy prey for some tigers, yes. So BF is possible. How? Let me read it once again. The people around Sundarbans try to gather honey from the swamp area, thus making them an easy prey for some tigers. That's possible, right? If you hunt in forest, you can become a prey to tigers. Okay, so BF is possible. Now let's look at C. For the people born in the 50s and 60s, catching up caused serious territorial, no. Catching up with advancement in technology is a daunting task, yes. So CE is possible. So BFC is there in only 3, which means the correct answer to 24th question is 3. We now have 25th question. What does it say? Arc de Triomphe, inaugurated in 1836 by French King Louis Philippe, is the largest arch in the world. Okay, this arc is perhaps French for arch, so this makes sense. Arch in the world and has been dedicated to armies of the revolution and the empire. So AD possible. Okay, as I said, I'm not using shortcuts. The short D means bad job of the masons in the building the wall had put the painters to a lot of hardship, difficulties to get the classy wall finish. So the masons did a bad job, but the painters did a good job. So B is logical and grammatical. So we go for CF. Let's see if CF makes sense. John, as a wine taster, is very selective in what he eats and drinks, lest he loses his discerning ability. So he's choosy about what he eats. Why? He is a taster. Makes sense. CF. So which means AD, B, CF. 2 is the correct answer. 25, 2 is the correct answer. We now with that go to the last model of the paper, and that is another grammatically correct option model. For each of the questions below, a sentence is written in 4 different ways. Select grammatically correct option, keeping in view meaning and usage, and mark it as your answer. If none of the options is correct, mark none is correct as your answer. Okay. So let us get started. Here's the first question. Okay, how do we deal with this? My suggestion is don't read every individual sentence separately. Immediately start reading line by line, okay, of every sentence and look for differences. And based on your understanding of the differences, identify the grammatically correct one. For example, I am going to do it now. The government formulates. You see, there's a difference here. The government is a single entity, right? As a united body, it's always supposed to be used with a singular verb. Formulates. So 3 is wrong. You see, just by reading 4 words, We rejected one option. Okay, now let's continue. The government formulates progressive and transparent policies and progressive and transparent policies and simple and regulation that ensure and regulations, you see, transparent policies and regulations, whereas this is regulation that ensure. If it is singular regulation, it should be ensures. Okay, so regulations that ensured, you see another tense problem here. And okay, 4 says regulations that ensure. So singular regulations should have ensures. Anyway, okay, and that is one error here. And 2, it says regulations that ensured. Now when you say formulates, is simple present tense, the consistency of tense should be maintained, right? So it should also be ensured here. Okay, ensured, which is not the case, which means the correct answer has to be 4. So simple. The government formulates progressive and transparent policies and regulations that ensure autonomy of educational institutions to deliver the promise of transformative education. So simple. 26th is 4. With that, we move to 27th. Now 27th, big question. So let us do 2 at a time. The university hosted science camp. The university hosted a science camp. Obviously, camp is countable singular noun. Whether it is a science camp or a geography camp, it should always be preceded by a, or a, obviously indefinite article a. So it should be, this is wrong. So a is missing here. So which means we move to comparing, okay, the next 2. Let's compare these 2 first. The university hosted a science camp. To encourage talent towards science and research between children. Talent towards science and research among children. Should be among, right? Okay, children is always, noun that suggests 3 or more than 3 children are there. Okay, which means among is more correct. Okay, between is used only for 2. Among is used for 3 or more than 3. So between is wrong, so 3 is also wrong. So the competition now is between choice 2 and choice 4. So let us see what choice 2 says. It says among children. So let's read this. With scientific temperament and the camp was attended by renowned scientists and professionals. Okay, by renowned scientists and professionals who addressed and motivated the brilliant students from science stream. 4 says who addressed and motivated the brilliant students at science stream. No, students are from science stream, right? So 4th is wrong. So the correct answer to 27th question is 2, without any doubt. So with that, we move to 28th question, my dear friend. And 28th question, first sentence is, again big question. 2 options, let us read them 2 at a time. The right kind of education is not concerned with. The right kind of education is not concerned with any ideology, however much it may promise a future utopia. Any ideology, however much it might. Okay, however much it may or it might. So, it is actually supposed to be it may, because the author is opposing this point, right? Okay, which means the opponents feel it actually has great promise. Okay, it actually promises utopia greatly, which means might is wrong. So we go to third and fourth options first, and then we come back to first option. The right kind of education is not concerned with any ideology, however much it may promise future utopia. The right kind of education is not concerned with any ideology, however much it may promise a future utopia. It is not based on is missing here. It is not based on is present here. So let's look at one. It is not based on is present here. Okay. So which means 4 is wrong. So between 3 and 1, let us see which one is correct. It is not based on any system, however carefully thought out. Okay. It is not based on any system, however carefully thought out. Nor is it a mean. Oh, there seems to be an error. Nor is it a means. 3 says means. but one says mean. When you use the word mean to mean mode, means of transport, means of communication, you should always have means. S should be there. That's how the noun works. It's always the same in singular and plural also. So the answer has to be third option, my dear friend. So for 28th question, the correct answer is third option. With that, we move to 29th question. Thankfully smaller one. Okay, so let's see. One says, disputes have raged over the scientific standing of ideology, its epistemological status. Here it says, disputes have raged over the scientific standing of ideology, its epistemological status. It's as a possessive pronoun, should not have apostrophe. If it is with apostrophe, it is equal to it is. We have discussed this 100 times in our sessions. So this is wrong. So let's look at 4. 3 says it's. Okay. 4 says it's. Now let's see the differences. 4 says dispute have. Wrong. It should be disputes have, right? Plural subject, plural verb. But this says dispute have, which is wrong. Okay. So, which means the competition is now between 3 and 1. Okay. So what does it say? Disputes have raged over scientific standing of ideology, its epistemological status, and its totalitarian and liberal manifestation. And its, you see again with apostrophe is there. So this again is wrong. So for 29th question, the correct answer has to be 1. With that, we move to 30th question, the last question of the day. Okay. The exclusion of non-European philosophy, again we have, big sentences here. The exclusion of non-European philosophy from the canon was a decision, not something that people have always believed. The exclusion of non-European philosophy from the canon, was a decision, not something that people have always believed. Okay, and it was a decision based on, not on a reasoned argument. And it was a decision based not on a reasoned argument, same up to here, but rather on polemical considerations involving pro-Kantian faction. But rather on polemical considerations involving the pro-Kantian faction. Okay, in European philosophy, as well as views about race that are both scientifically unsound and morally heinous. Okay, as well as views about race that is. Views that are. Okay, 2 says views about race that are. Okay, but 1 says views about race that is. Is wrong. So 1 is wrong. Let's look at these 2 fellows now first. Then we go back to 2. The exclusion of non-European philosophy from the canon was a decision. The exclusion of non-European philosophy from the canon was a decision, not something that people have always believed, and it was a decision based not on a reasoned argument, but rather on polemical considerations involving pro-Kantian faction in European philosophy. Okay, polemical considerations involving pro-Kantian faction in European philosophy, as well as views. Where is as? As is missing in 3, so 3 is wrong. As well as views about race that are both scientific unsound? No. Okay, second option said scientifically unsound. You see, second says scientifically unsound, but 4 says scientific unsound. Clearly a mistake, right? Okay, so which means the 4th option is also wrong. The finally correct answer would be 2. And with that, my dear friend, we have come to the end of the session. I've tried my best to be as slow as possible given the constraints. Okay, I hope you have understood everything. Hope to see you again. Thank you very much. Goodbye.